Well, hey everybody, and welcome to this very special John Campea Open Mic. I'm going to be hosting today, Chris Carr. Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday to ya. I am not alone in our discussion today, though. I am, of course, joined by my buddies Ray and Jonathan. Hello. Woo-woo, you have your veteran beyond crew.
We harmonized.
You did. We're so in sync. Oh my gosh, guys.
You know, one thing I got to do real quick though.
What?
We gotta we gotta blank this out. All right.
Who you gonna be?
Yeah, we gotta figure this out.
Ooh.
You know, I caught up on some trailers
yeah?
I watched the Goosebumps trailer. Have you seen it?
Yes.
Well, Justin Long makes an appearance.
Freaking love Justin Long so much.
Yeah, it's good to see
I got
him.
really excited, yeah.
I watched the No One Will Save You trailer again because it comes out today. I think everyone who's into like alien invasion stuff should check this out. It's on Hulu.
Oh, okay.
I know you might not watch it. Have you seen the trailer?
I haven't actually. I like alien things though.
But this looks like it
just
has a horror twist to it.
Okay.
Maybe in light of the
Bob's judging me.
Yeah, we're gonna get the judgy.
Oh no.
In light of the the WGA negotiations today, he's gonna be joining us.
I saw the Percy Jackson trailer.
Yeah.
Nice to see Edge in there. Did you catch his little quick thing from WWE?
You know, he's a really surprisingly great actor. I shouldn't say surprisingly. You got to sell so much if you're a good wrestler, you know?
Do you know what I spent money on? I had no idea what the franchise was about, but I knew he had a small part in it. Highlander Endgame.
Oh.
He was one of the British writers in the beginning, right at the very beginning, and I think he gets killed. I'm not sure. But then I just left afterwards.
Yeah.
I was so into wrestling at that point in my life that I would buy tickets just to see a wrestler in something for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's my breakdown of what I've watched today.
That's all awesome. I need to check out that trailer. Very, very cool. I did want to bring up, today is Hobbit Day.
Yeah, you mentioned that on the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm like, huh?
So September 22nd is Frodo and Bilbo Baggins' birthdays.
Oh.
And so back in 1978, the American Tolkien Foundation decided to create something called Tolkien Week. And then the 22nd is kind of the culmination of that celebratory week celebrating Tolkien's work, where you do hobbity things and eat hobbit food. And
Are you gonna play the Ballad of Bilbo Baggins by Leonard Nimoy?
I should. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Mostly I was going to go home and just make a shitload of food, but now.
So is there a Lord of the Rings Day too? Or is this just
Probably.
considered?
This is pretty much it. Yeah. So Hobbit Day is today. Celebrate accordingly. Eat shit. Let your feet be hairy. I don't know. Do your thing.
You're not doing anything special?
Logan and I are cooking a bunch of stuff.
Oh.
Which will be fun. And then we'll probably watch one of the movies or something. And a friend of friend of the show, Ken Dixon, gave me a bottle of champagne when we completed his demos. And so I'm probably going to crack that champagne open today.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Which will be
is.
fun. Well, you guys have going on this weekend?
I don't really know. I don't really have too much. Probably a lot of yard work. My yard is just insane now. During that heat wave, I'm not going out back.
No, why would you?
Yeah.
Especially with all the mosquitoes.
So
right
really
now.
boring, but I'm just gonna stay close to home this weekend.
That's nice, though.
Oh, I am gonna see on Sunday Howl's Moving Castle.
Yay!
Yeah, it's second to last of the Miyazaki thing I've
Yeah.
been doing at AMC. So the final one will be Spirited Away next month. Yeah.
So is this one that you have or haven't seen?
I haven't seen any of them, so everything is a new
Okay.
experience. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And are you still bringing the girls?
The youngest is the one who wants to go. Yeah, so we've been going together to them.
Very cool. That's going to be magical.
Well, for me, I'm going to do the most manliest thing this weekend.
What is it?
I'm baking a bunch of cookies.
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
boy!
Man.
I stopped by the Target and got me a new food processor. You know why? Because I'm
wanna
going to
process
grind up this oatmeal
Oh,
so it's real powdery.
grind it up.
And I'm going to add it to that flour.
Add it to the
And
flour.
we're going to make those cookies I
Make
brought
those
in the other
cookies.
day. But I'm going to try to make them a little bit fatter, a little
Gonna make it
nicer
fatty?
like that.
All right.
Why are
know,
you
guys are
saying
gonna taste
so
them.
many slutty things right now? Oh my god.
Sweaty cookies.
My life sucks. I'm sorry.
No,
It's just
honestly.
baking. That's what I have to look forward to
No,
all
Hey,
weekend.
man, your
Truly.
house is going to smell so good.
Your house is gonna smell good, and anyone who can bake or cook, baking in particular, because it's so much harder. That is a really cool ability. That's date nip.
I try.
Right?
I try. I
That's-
mean, because I've always been bad at it. There's something about the kitchen where You always want to get better at something that you're not good at.
I totally agree with
The
that.
only problem is sometimes it could get expensive. If you like, my biggest fear is buying an expensive, like let's say, what do you call those? The steak that is really pricey.
Like the
it starts
Wagyu
with a K.
ones?
Wagyu.
Kobe or Wagyu.
Yeah.
Or buying one of those things, reading everything I need to read in order to cook it right, and just messing it up. That is like the only thing that sucks. Is if like I do a batch of cookies and they burn,
Someone put up.
no one's eating it.
Someone put an emoji of you and then a chef and then a cookie.
Aww.
Oh, Michael Gonzalez did that.
So that's the only downside to it. It takes up a lot of time sometimes when you bake, right? Especially something that you have to let sit there the whole day. And then you still have to taste it. It still has to be good. Have you guys had the Japanese jiggly cake before?
Yes.
You know how that takes a
That sounds
really long
familiar, and I
time.
may have, but I can't remember.
That
If I
takes
have.
a really
Little
long
shaky
time to make.
cheesecake.
The
Yeah.
first time, and you know what? It takes like 8 eggs, 8 things of 8 eggs, and I was like, I better not mess this up because eggs are expensive. Right?
They're expensive now, yeah.
I messed up, but the second time it was amazing. So you gotta
what's wrong with it?
sacrifice something sometimes.
Laura makes that like Basque cheesecake. Have you heard of those? They don't have the crust.
Oh yeah, right.
They kind of have the burnt top. Yeah, she makes those.
Yeah,
I can't bake for shit. I wish I could.
I'm
Really wish I
trying.
could.
I'm trying.
You succeed. Your baked goods are so amazing.
Yeah, you guys are gonna get them Monday.
He always come in. He's like, I kind of messed these up, guys. I'm so sorry.
And
And then we're just like,
flawless.
oh my god.
Yeah.
It's like drooling chocolate chip.
That's what that birthday cookie. Holy shit, man. Oh,
I like make everything big.
it's
you
so
know?
great.
All right.
Then I don't feel as bad not sharing it with people too. And I'm like, well, there's only one. There's only one cookie. I could be the only one who eats it.
big cookie.
Oh man.
So what's our news? Or
Well,
what are we doing?
We got a little bit of fun Star Warsy news of what could have been, what we could have had.
That's a lot. We get that a lot with Lucasfilm.
We do have this a
The
lot with
Lucasfilm that
Lucas.
could have been.
That's very, very true. This one, though, I don't know. For me, this one kind of stung a little because I love this director so much.
Me too.
We could have had some Guillermo Del Toro Star Wars. That would have been amazing.
Yep.
There's a whole bunch of things in this one, too. So we've got several different things to talk about here.
So one, David S. Goyer obviously was going to pen that, who did The
yeah.
Dark Knight, Dark Knight, and then
Amazing screenwriter.
yeah, and then obviously Guillermo del Toro. That pair up enough,
Yeah,
right?
that's what a dream team. That would have been amazing. So we have, during a recent episode of the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, host Josh Horowitz asked the screenwriter which major franchise he would love to have the opportunity to be involved with. And he said he actually wrote an unproduced Star Wars movie that Guillermo del Toro was going to direct. This was about 4 years ago. And del Toro later clarified on X, formerly known as Twitter, that it was many, many moons ago, about 6 years ago or so. Now, then they also go on to bring up that Goyer was also working on an Origins of the Jedi movie.
Right.
Putting things 25,000 years in the past, exploring how the Jedi came to be. So we could have had one of those things moving through the timeline as well. And then lastly, what we learned from this is that Del Toro had to turn down Force Awakens because of scheduling. That is the one.
Yeah.
I can't get mad at that because Force Awakens is like my favorite Star Wars movie.
It's good, but I mean, imagine if Del
I'm
Toro
sorry.
was on that, he probably would have had a plan. He probably would have
Imagine
insisted.
less lens flares, more more crazy aliens.
I think what was interesting about this quote too is this part right here. There was just a lot of behind the scenes stuff going on at Lucasfilm at the time. Yeah, I kind of feel like that's always true.
Yeah. It's a very diplomatic response, though, of
There was just a lot of things going on.
stuff, you know.
Well, first off, I would expect a lot of things to be going on at a production company.
That's
That
apparently
tells
making 6
me
movies.
there was a lot of mayhem.
Exactly. Well, and every time I feel like people talk about how they were going to work on a Lucasfilm, it sounds like somebody who's trying to make their breakup seem amicable. Of, a lot of things went wrong. It just we didn't have the right timing.
Yeah.
So-
Well, you don't want to
Um,
say anything that may jeopardize you working with someone again. So
For sure.
I get it.
So-
It's smart.
So if this was 4 years ago, it would have been 2018, right? Ish or 17-ish, right?
Well,
6
6
years
years
ago.
ago.
Six.
So
Oh, 6 years ago.
because
Yeah.
Goyer said 4, but then he was correcting him with 6.
Yeah.
6 years ago. So
So
2017, he did Shape of Water.
Mm-hmm.
So that must
And he
have
did
been-
say he was busy with other things. So it's
And,
like, I get it.
You know, Shape of Water got him an Oscar. So
Right,
I
right.
think the correct decision was made here, and Star Wars, in theory, will always be there.
You know, he did Troll Hunters.
Yes, I love Troll Hunters.
I
That
haven't seen
entire
it.
universe.
it's
Ray,
got-
I think you'd really like it.
It's got such a high score on IMDb. I'm not used to high scores on IMDb. They're like a lower level. Like their scores are really.
That was animated, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
So there
yeah.
was a show called Troll Hunters. Then they're tied into a show called Three Below. Then there was another one called Wizards.
Mm-hmm.
And it was this kind of magic and alien universe all coinciding. It was really, really well done. Set in Arcadia, which
I
is real
gotta
cute.
see it.
I remember one time, were you, I don't know, Ray, if you were at the Collider studio the day that Guillermo Del Toro came by in Burbank.
No, that was the days where I had to be home.
we shot it in what we called Studio B at the time. It's where we did all the Collider news stuff.
Uh-huh.
But my desk was in there. So I'm like working away on something, and Guillermo Del Toro is probably just in like a director's chair, like from me to you. So no one can really tell the difference here, but we're like maybe 3 feet.
Yeah.
So he's just like giving an interview like 3 feet from me while I'm like editing.
I want to know how his brain works because some of the things that he comes up with, Shape of Water, any of the movies where it may have not, you may have not liked it. Still, the creatures that he comes up with, the species and things like that, it's so creative for me, at least. I would love to see that in the Star Wars universe. I mean, imagine like just a planet that or like a town or whatever they call it in the Star Wars created by him with his vision. It'd have been really cool, I thought. I would
Absolutely.
think.
He is one of those directors that I think the word atmosphere really applies to. He really does such beautiful world building, whether it is, you know, something like a Pan's Labyrinth or it's Hellboy or, you know, his work with Pinocchio. He really is able to establish a tone so quickly and make you feel so immersed in that world. And I don't think a lot of directors have that same power.
No.
Where he can transcend things, he can make a completely different universe, and you still go, this is a Del Toro thing.
He did Pacific Rim too.
first,
I really like that movie.
Yeah, the
so I
first
don't
one's
care.
amazing.
Yeah.
Freaking, I love that one.
Yep.
So from what I'm reading, what Guillermo del Toro has coming up is the Buried Giant, Frankenstein, and Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
That one sounds like it could be pretty cool.
Yeah, Scary Stories You Could Tell in the Dark. That book series was messed up if it's the same thing.
Yeah. It's I guess it's a season 2 because it's a movie. Okay, the first one came out already, or the screenplay was by him. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. So
I
he's
just
working on
remember
that.
that book cover as a kid, like with the like real creepy face and that very
Yeah.
red nose.
Yeah.
Ugh. Ugh, it was so
You couldn't
scary.
really tell what it was supposed to be. Is it supposed to be a clown, or is it just like, is this like an ink blot thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, messed me up. That I mean, I know that's not difficult since I'm such a wimp when it comes to scary things. Man. Well, I'm glad he's got other things in the pipeline. Frankenstein from Del Toro.
Oh shoot!
That's gonna be nice. Oh man,
That's a nice.
it's gonna be a very good movie.
But you know what? We can't have any of it with a strike going on.
Yeah, so we got to get.
That's
Hey,
very,
speaking
very
of, maybe we
true.
should do a little strike watch here. Hang
Strike
on.
watch.
I'm gonna go to Variety. See if there's any updates. Solidarity. Okay, so there's a new article here. Hang on. Let's bring it up for the folks at home, shall we?
Oh yes, please.
Here we go. Put it on your shot.
Okay.
This is an hour ago. WGA picket lines swell with solidarity and cautious optimism. Yeah, I feel that. As AMPTP contract talks go a third day with CEOs. Let's see if there's anything new. In response to the call from guild leaders, strong turnout. Yeah, that happened.
That makes sense.
Hollywood, Paramount saw big crowds. Okay, that's just about. Oh, so this is more about
People
the people
showing up.
turning out.
Yeah.
I'm a realist, said Aunt Amy Berg, a showrunner, WGA strike captain who has dubbed herself the lot mom of Fox Studios.
Aw.
You want it to be done, but at the same time, we've got to go through this before, or we've gone through this before. A few weeks ago, everyone heard on Friday the strike would suddenly over, and that wasn't the case. So, and this is more of like man on the street kind of stuff.
It's good to
So-
see that they're agreeing on major points, though.
It's good to see they're
that makes me
still
happy.
in there working.
Yeah, absolutely.
I forgot
Yeah.
to mention, I hate to change the subject, but another thing that comes out today is the Continental. We haven't heard great reviews.
Yeah, but
for
someone
it.
on the chat said it was great, so I don't know.
So yeah, so your miles may vary. I guess that's how they say. So that comes out today. I'm just looking for things to watch while I'm baking. That's what's going on. So
Aw, that's gonna be great.
let's see.
Man.
Well, anyway, so not much news in the strike front. They're still in there.
Hopefully I hope by Monday we know something. That'd be really, really great. That way too, we can get the SAG-AFTRA union back in there discussing their terms.
Well, they'll have no one to be distracted with now. So
Well, and coming up too, we've got the video game vote is due as well soon for strike authorization.
That would be interesting.
So I'm hoping these things get settled, and then we can hopefully have a productive discussion with those kinds of AAA video games that they're looking to change things up with.
Yeah.
The terms for video games are a lot like the TV theatrical stuff. We're just not dealing with residuals really.
Right.
So hopefully if we come to agreements on AI with the writers, with the on-camera actors, then all of our performance capture and voice actors will get the same
with
stuff.
residuals for video games, I feel like it's probably a little easier because you're selling units.
That's how I feel, but it's so weird that it's one of the few acting forms that you don't get residuals from.
Yeah.
It's just a flat rate.
But they
which-
can't. What I'm saying is, like with streaming, it's like, well, we don't make any money on those clicks,
Yeah.
and whatever. But you're obviously tracking your units sold because
Yeah.
otherwise you'd be out of business.
100%.
So
And I understand that it can be a little, I don't know, I guess with all the different downloadable content and things like that, that can kind of, I guess, muck up things. But to your point, there is a very easy metric here for, yes, that was sold, so here's your 0.5%, you know?
Yeah, and if your voice is in the downloadable content, then you should get a piece of that too. I mean,
ooh, if your likeness is being used,
share the wealth.
that's wild to me.
I know.
Especially the idea of AI with that, of just being able to use your likeness in perpetuity is
well,
bananas.
and I can't imagine like with what was it, Cyberpunk 2077, that Keanu Reeves got a shoddy deal.
No.
So
It's a very different situation for all these A-listers than the rest of us who are getting, you know, a nice contract where it's, sure, I, in my wildest dreams, didn't think I'd be paid over $900 to go do a video game. That's incredible.
Right.
But then you see how many units are sold and you go, oh, I made a third of my rent, not even, and
back
this
to-
is doing this.
We could go back to that Bayonetta lady, the girl who
Bayonetta.
did Bayonetta. Excuse me. Yeah, that I think that's what really started like the, you know, put the microscope on.
I think
on
so.
this stuff.
That was a big discussion on what she was paid and what she was worth and what she was valued at. And I think that's what we're having with a lot of workers in general, of just, if you're a cog in this machine that works well, shouldn't you get your piece of the pie too?
And when that news came out, I remember watching the Video Game Awards, which came out like recently after that. That company, when they put up Bayonetta 3, you heard some boos from the audience. Everyone's in the know. If you're like in the video game industry, you know what's going on. So
yeah, because everyone watches YouTube videos on like all the tea on the video game situations.
and so if your audience is booing your
that's not
decision,
a good look.
that's not a good thing.
For sure. Well, and game actors too are so tied to their audience. One, just because of the nature of the performance, right? They're playing as you. You have this shared experience of agency. But because of the pay and because of the lack of residuals, that's why you see so many video game voice actors doing the like Comic-Con circuit, those big convention circuits, and really connecting with their fans because that's how they can make a living.
Right.
And so a lot of those fans too are such stands for their voice actors and really back them when they hear about any kind of wrongdoing. So
All right. Oh, one more mention.
All right.
Yeah.
What releases today? Only because I love the first movie, and I think I like the second one. Spy Kids Armageddon on Netflix.
You know,
I don't know if you guys like the Spy Kids
Rob
series.
worked on Spy Kids.
Oh, did he? I always
Didn't-
forget that.
Wasn't it with Spy Kids, or
I-
was it? I think so.
I love
he
no
did
Agent Cody
Agent
Banks.
Agent Cody
Banks.
Banks. You know, who's actually Agent Cody Banks, not Spy Kids.
I
you know,
love those first
Jonathan,
Spy
I worked
Kids.
on a film back in the day.
Yeah, it was a film.
Oh
None of you
man,
guys are into Spy Kids? Come on.
No.
I never got into
Oh
it.
yeah, you're in that weird. Okay, let's say Chris is in this weird year where she was born, where she either
Yeah.
knows something that we know, or she
Or I
has
have
no idea?
no recollection of it.
It's crazy.
Logan's a big Spy Kids fan.
Oh, great.
He
See,
loves
I could always
it.
count on Logan.
I know.
That tracks because I feel like they're in tune.
He and Ray have all the same taste for the most part. I think the only thing you guys have deferred on was
The Flash.
Yeah, that was the first one.
I feel like if I like talked about things we like I'd be like, all right. A lot.
Okay, my God, that's so much of my marriage is, and I love that for you, honey. Like what you like. But then again, I'm like, can we watch this British murder show again? And he's sweet and says, yeah, sure, I guess.
Oh, he
I'll
doesn't like
mimic
murder
him.
show?
He actually, this last one, he got really into because Logan suspends his disbelief like in such a crazy way where
No way. How'd they do that?
what? Oh my gosh, that's the person? And so he got really proud of himself because season 1 of Broadchurch, he figured out the murderer right away. And so he was like, let's go. Season 2, let's figure this out. So he's been very, very keen on that particular murder show.
Oh, okay.
That's some of the other ones that I watch. He's like, why are we watching people kill each other, Christine? Why?
Christine, huh?
I get, yeah, when he's
okay.
being serious, I get full named.
I see. I
Yeah.
see. All right. Well, look, we've chatted enough, but
Yeah.
before we get to all of our friends' questions here, maybe we should take a break.
Heck yeah.
So we'll hear from our sponsors, Rocket Money and Quip. Be right back.
Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Rocket Money. Did you know that the average person has around 12 paid subscriptions and they might not even remember to subscribing to half of those? If you have no idea just how much you're spending each month, you need Rocket Money. It's this great app that tracks all of your expenses so you know exactly where your money is going. I recently just found out that over 80% of people have subscriptions that they've completely forgotten about. Seriously, think about how many free trials you subscribe to that you just probably never canceled. And that's why I'm such a big fan of Rocket Money, because I was one of those people. When I signed up to Rocket Money, I was stunned to find out that a gym I had belonged to in another city I lived in, I had still been paying my dues to for over 2 years. Also, that music subscription service I use, yeah, I forgot I was subscribed to 2 other ones. That's where Rocket Money comes in, because Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. With over 3 million users and counting, Rocket Money customers have saved on average of $720 a year. So stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and manage your money the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/Campea. That's rocketmoney.com/Campea. rocketmoney.com/Campea. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of this video, Quip. Guys, you know that good health starts with good habits, and Quip makes it easy by delivering all the oral care essentials that you need to care for your mouth. For example, their incredible electric toothbrush. Guys, I've been using electric toothbrushes for years, and this is easily the best one I've ever owned. Timed sonic vibrations with 30-second pulses to guide a dentist-recommended 2-minute clean. A lightweight and sleek design for adults and kids with no wires or bulky charger to weigh you down. Reusable handles in a range of sleek metal hues, as well as bright plastic colors, sure to make a pop on your bathroom counter. Skip the batteries and snap into healthy habits with the new rechargeable electric toothbrush. All the features of the original Quip, plus 1 magnetic charge, powers up to 3 months of brushing. In addition to brush heads, Quip also delivers fresh floss, toothpaste, mouthwash, and gum refills every 3 months from just $7. So if you go to getquip.com/Campea right now, you'll get 20% off any electric toothbrush, mint and gum dispenser, or water flosser. That's your 20% off any electric toothbrush, mint and gum dispenser, water flosser at getquip.com/Campea. That's GETQUIP.com/Campea. Quip, the good habits company.
And thank you so much to Rocket Money and Quip for making this episode of Open Mic possible.
Woo!
Yay! Remember, guys, when you use those codes, you're not just helping us out, you're doing good stuff for you too. That's great. Jonathan, what do we have?
All right, Sam Fisher's up. What do you got to say, Sam? I don't know if you ever saw the Amazon documentary about the music of Bond, but in that, Michael Caine revealed he was the first person to hear the Goldfinger theme because John Barry was staying at his house the night that he wrote it.
Oh, cool.
I bet you that was a fun evening of drinks and whatever British people in the 60s do.
Everything, I think. All the drugs.
It was sort of like, yeah, it was basically like, oh my gosh, why am I of Goldmember? Austin Powers. Yeah.
Oh,
So-
very fun.
Is that a memorable song?
Oh yeah.
Is it one of the?
Goldfinger.
Okay.
If you sing it like me, it is. Yeah, I mean, Goldfinger is like regarded as like one of the best.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I
Sean
heard
Connery.
JFK had a version of it too.
We shall not go dark. We shall not go into the dark night with no gold finger. We shall hear this song from you, John Barry. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I
Makes me
want that
proud to be
all
an
the time.
American. Oh my gosh.
All right. So moving quickly on from that, Dwarfer UK writes movie songs. Huey Lewis in the News. Okay. Dwarfer, if you only knew how often me and Ray sing Huey Lewis in the News lyrics around here. Yeah, we're not even joking.
Yeah.
In the news, The Power of Love, and we do Hip to Be Square, and ZZ Top double back again. 2 trilogies, Tom Holland, Spider-Man, and Back to the Future. I think this has to do with the question yesterday or a couple days ago
Saint
where they were
Elmo's Fire?
saying like, yeah, the St. Elmo's Fire thing, where St. Elmo's Fire Gate, where the songs kind of outlived the movie.
Oh.
But I would sort of disagree with this one because he says Power of Love, and I'm pretty sure that was heavily used, or that was used famously in Back to the Future, which is not forgotten.
No, and it's now a musical.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, but all right, thank you for your thoughts.
Appreciate it.
I love Huey Lewis too. For real.
Hip to be square. Okay.
That's what we were doing earlier. Whatever we're doing, we will sing to it, like the rhythm of it.
And
So,
especially if we start getting a little like frustrated or whatever, yeah, that's when we just start adding lyrics to whatever we're doing to like one of those
You just
80s songs, you know?
It's when you guys are frustrated.
Or
Yeah.
anytime.
Aw.
We're having fun or
Anytime I
wacky,
join, I
slap
think it's
happy,
just this
frustrated.
cute little thing
No,
that's
we were doing Smooth Criminal today.
Oh yeah, we did a lot of Smooth
Oh,
Criminal, but we were
nice.
just adding different words instead of
fun.
Annie, are you okay? It was something, are you okay?
yeah,
But I don't know. Anyway, Anonymous writes, "Hi, John and Ray. In my defense, I work overnight. You're not forgiven. And only able to watch the shows on demand. So yeah, I didn't know you had a whole segment about Cast Media on the main show.
Oh, no
you
worries.
don't have to defend yourself.
Yeah.
You're fine, but thank you for your contribution.
That's so sweet of you.
Don't
Yeah.
ever apologize for anything.
Yeah.
For real.
I
Appreciate it.
I barely knew about Cast Media. You shouldn't have to
You
know
go
about
right
Cast Media.
on what did you say you do? Doing shows on demand. You go right
Yeah.
on doing that. You don't owe us
Yeah.
anything. Moving on. Edwin. Hey, John, the other night you and Ray talked about giving up on the MCU and Star Wars Disney Plus shows. I got to say I'm right there with you. So I'm so burnt out on mediocrity. I'm taking a break. It's the reason I haven't watched Ahsoka yet. I mean, you can give it a chance. You never know, but you got to do you, right?
Let me make this clear. John has he doesn't like a lot of shows. I do actually like most of everything I've seen on Disney Plus. Like, it's not the best, but I wouldn't necessarily say I hate something or I hated something. Like, even up to the point of Secret Invasion that I watched until, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it's just I feel now it's not impactful to the movies at all.
Yeah.
And the movies, I think, are still up here compared to the shows. And plus, you don't have to pay a subscription to watch a movie. You just have to pay for that ticket that day. So that's why I said it. John, he has his different reasons for not wanting to do it.
2 things I want to say. All right. So Marcus Way, you get it. You get it. Says, don't need cookies. Don't need fame. Don't need no Campea to chat in this train. This is the kind of thing we do. So that's exactly what we do.
Well done, Marcus.
We
Marcus,
take famous
why?
melodies and change the words.
He's a former winner of
Yes.
of Funko Pops.
And then also somebody else where I just saw it. I can't remember. I don't know. Oh yeah, here. You guys need to do a drinking game from Bruce Lum. Well, I mean, how do you? Chances are we did, but you never know with this crew.
I mean, if I wasn't sure we'd get demonetized for
Yeah.
being like, today we're doing this, I'd go for it. I love a drinking game. Don't tempt me with a good time while I'm getting paid. Come on.
Ray's just laughing.
It's because I just kept thinking of the song we were singing. Why we're singing a Channing Tatum version of Smooth Criminal, and I was like, Channing,
Tatum,
are you okay? Channing, are you okay?
Are you okay,
Tatum? Something like that.
You've been hit by a.
Some wild stuff happens when you come in tired. It's like our pick me up.
I literally will come in from my 60-mile drive out here, and I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" He's like, "Hey, what's up?" And they start turning on lights, and the next thing you know, we're just adding lyrics to 80s songs.
That's beautiful, though.
It's just what we do.
Yeah.
It's like everyone has their thing. Some people sniff up a line of cocaine.
Some
don't
people
need to
just
do that
change
here.
words to 80 songs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we just start singing.
All right. So Rob W says, "Hey, Campea crew, have you seen Theater Camp on Hulu? It was hilarious. In my opinion, it's funnier than Joyride. If you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor. Love all that you do. I'm aware of it, but I've not seen it.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm very excited.
I
It
didn't know it was on Hulu.
I feel like it played in theaters for a
yeah,
short period too.
I saw a trailer for
was a
that.
very short period in theaters, but I'm pumped about it because, surprising to no one, I did a lot of theater camp as a kid.
Yeah, that's not.
That's why this.
I got to see Bottoms first. I think if I'm gonna watch a comedy next, it'll be Bottoms. But this one, I really like the trailer, so I'll
Yeah.
watch that afterwards. But who knows? I never watch anything.
All right, we got Rob, no relation. Friday Crew, that's us. Been listening to a lot of rewatch podcasts, mainly Pod Meets World, and was wondering what film franchise you would listen to a rewatch podcast for. Wait, what? A
Yeah,
film
yeah,
franchise you would listen. So what is a rewatch podcast? Do they like?
They break down episodes.
Oh,
They
okay.
rewatch it again.
So,
Funny.
shameless plug, my friend Holly Constant does a podcast typically when we're not striking called Parks Pals. And she breaks down Parks and Rec episodes and also usually interviews cast, crew members. It's really great. She does a wonderful deep dive, is a great researcher and interviewer. So I recommend that one. I don't listen to too many rewatch ones myself,
Yeah,
though.
me either.
That's kind of the only one.
I just randomly did one because now I wasn't sure what that was. I wasn't sure if it was a watch along or a breakdown, but I did one. So we often get asked what like our guilty pleasure movie is, and I always say, okay, hang on. I want to say 1982, but the pirate movie. Okay, it is a movie that is based off the Pirates of Penzance.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but it's an 80s take on it
Sweet.
called The Pirate Movie.
Well, mine's
It's from 1982. Christy McNichol and Christopher Atkins is in it.
Oh, yeah, we've talked about this.
And I literally on Spotify, there was a movie breakdown on Spotify
Oh
about the
my
pirate
God.
movie, and that was the last one I
love
listened to.
Amazing.
this
I would
movie.
I
I
would
do.
listen to that. I need to see that movie.
Oh,
I need to see
we
it.
got
I'm so excited
We
about
literally
it.
should have a watch along of the pirate movie.
Oh, that would be super fun.
All right. Keith Williams says, "Hey, Campea crew, I hear y'all talk a lot about directors and actors, but what are your thoughts on today's cinematographers? There are definitely movies I'll watch simply due to who shot it. Deakins, The Goat, Fraser, Hoytema, Lubeski, to name a few. I mean, a good cinematographer is like, yeah,
Makes or
that's
breaks a film.
But a lot of these cinematographers I like will work specifically with directors like Denis Villeneuve.
Yes.
You know, or who did the Revenant, the Bear movie?
Oh, the Bear movie.
Yeah, the Revenant. I can't remember who directed that, but his cinematographer too is incredible.
It is directed by Alejandro Inarritu.
Inarritu, yeah,
Inarritu.
yeah. And then he works with a great
Emmanuel Lubisky.
yeah, great
Yeah.
cinematographer. So I know we don't talk about them often. If you want someone to really like, of course, of all people, Rob can go off on cinematographers.
I was going
I
to
love
say,
cinematographers because I love shooting things.
film-wise.
Yeah.
I got to support
Film
my.
wise. I shoot cameras.
I got to support.
Actually, on my Twitter handle, it says shooter in shooter in parentheses of cameras.
Oh, nice.
I got to support my my. I believe he's Filipino, right?
Okay.
Yep. Lebetique. Matthew. He did, I think, Iron Man 1 because I remember doing the
that was
behind the
awesome.
scenes.
That was great. Really well shot.
Yeah, I got to support him. That's the only one I know. That's a cinematographer.
Yeah, and actually, like whenever like Rob's talking about like something he's directing on or whatever, my first question is, "Oh, who's shooting it?"
Yeah.
because it just fascinates me. There's so much to know in the world of like shooting movies and whatever. It just fascinates me.
Yeah.
So yeah, great question.
That's a very good question.
Tips. No, wait. What am I saying? I just literally said the button on my on my console. Tips.
It's Friday.
Yeah. Broadway Geeky. What's your?
Did you just?
I literally said tips because I hit the button
This
tips.
guy can't even speak in his head anymore. It's
don't.
all out loud.
Oh, we're in trouble now then. Broadway Geeky, what's your favorite obscure film fact? Mine is that Mel Blanc wasn't Porky Pig at first. It was Joe Dougherty, a stuttering actor who was fired because his stutter cost production time. That is so 1930s. I love it. As an actor who stutters myself, I find this fascinating and infuriating. I don't mean to laugh, but that seems so ridiculous. I could just imagine someone in the 30s going, "Get out of here, kid. You'll never work in this town."
Time is money. Now get out.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, and then Mel made a meal out of it.
I don't retain a lot of strange film facts. I hear them and I'm amazed by them, but none of them I could quite remember. So I'm not even going to attempt to
This is a
recollect
tough
something.
one. Like your favorite obscure film fact, because it has to be obscure.
It would be like,
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of something where it's, oh, you know what's cool that I know?
let's keep it percolating. Hopefully,
Yeah, we'll
think
one
about
of us
that.
That's
will-
a great question, though.
Yeah.
I hear so many, and it sucks. I can't remember any of them,
I know.
especially with Rob around.
Oh,
He'll
my gosh.
always. He
Yeah.
probably has 10.
Well, he'll tell you the stuff that's not even like people will talk about.
Yeah.
So next up,
All right.
we got Stefan, who writes, in Montreal, I went to work every day and negative 29 for $23 an hour. What are they complaining about? I think this is about the
Squid Games.
Now, you didn't do it every day because I know Montreal and you guys have 4 seasons. But
So
you
not
did do
29
it for
every
the
day.
winter.
Yeah.
The pay I can't help you with. I don't-
Listen, you Canadians are on another level, apparently, because
to
I
be
would not
fair,
do this.
it's about acclimation, right? So like
Yes.
what, have you ever stood in the Arabian desert for an hour
Yeah.
or the Sahara desert for an hour? 130, 140 degree with the heat coming off the sand. There are people that Bedouins in the Arabian desert do it all day. I mean, yeah, they find shade and they tent, but they live in it. So I couldn't do that either.
I think it just depends on what you're used to. But thank you for that $20 tip.
Yes,
That's
thank you. That was
fantastic.
very, very,
Very generous.
generous of you. Thank you so much. So moving on to our supers now.
Woohoo.
First up, we've got Justin D. Who do you think will play Abby in The Last of Us Season 2? We know it's cast,
Yeah.
but they just ain't saying who. And what's interesting is like they said it's going to be another situation where everyone's like, huh? But then when you see the performance, you're going to be like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I trust them with whoever they brought in. 'Cause
Yeah,
so far,
I do too, because I'm not like at this point. First off, I was never those people who are like, they cast these people.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, it's HBO. And then they came through. And so now for anyone to say anything now, it's like, give me a break.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of people are like, oh, Florence Pugh or whatever,
do
but
like
I just
that.
don't think she's going to be the same age as
Yeah, and you know
19 is pretty
Yeah.
young.
You know who I thought would have been cool too? Would have been Hayden Panettiere.
She's too old too.
Hayden
Yeah,
Panettiere,
but she's her age is a factor there
Yeah.
too. But that would have been that would have been my pick if she was
Yeah.
younger.
For Last of Us, I need just great actors. I
Right.
don't need somebody to look exactly like the game.
Right.
That's not as important to me. And
And
casting
they don't.
crew. Yeah.
So far, they don't. So that's the funny thing is everyone's like, oh, well, then it could be this person because they look like this. But no one has looked like the game.
The only person who's looked like their character was Marlene because she was Marlene in the game.
In the game.
Like, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Exactly.
as long I trust whoever they got. I'm confident.
I don't know if I'm gonna watch this next season.
It's
know,
a
I s-
rough show.
I haven't finished it yet.
I'm just saying
Oof.
because
I have
played the game.
I've beaten both 1 and 2 like 3 times each.
Yeah.
And I know what happens, and I'm gonna get to it. I don't know why I just stopped, but I still haven't watched the last episode of House of the Dragon because I don't want to watch that dragon eat the other dragon.
That's fair. That's very fair. That was a disappointing moment.
Ray just turns around. He can't even face the camera. He's so ashamed.
you didn't want to see what?
The dragon eat the other dragon. You're the one who like.
But come on, that's real sweet. But come on, the dragon got to be dragon, right?
Oh, I don't want to watch the dragon eat the
Hey,
dragon.
no.
If you don't watch it, it never happened.
I will say, Jonathan.
No, I
right?
mean that honestly, that's not the only. Like, I will watch it. I'm not like I
Right,
can't
right.
handle that. I'm gonna watch it. I just haven't gotten to it.
Yeah, I could tell when that part happened. I'll say that I kind of turned away, but it's not even the watching it. It's just like I hate the squealing of an animal dying.
There's always a bigger
that's-
dragon.
that's
Yes,
also-
there is, Harv. All right. Next up, we got Bacon. Pew pew. Oh no, we read that one already. Sorry, Bacon. Pew pew. We just
pew.
did Justin. So Lavartov, John. I wonder, had Gunn stayed at Marvel, do you think eventually Feige would have convinced him to direct an Avengers film? John's not here.
Bob's disappointed.
I honestly think.
Bob's real disappointed.
Yeah. I honestly think
I'm
he
texting
would have
him
been a
right now.
shoe-in for an Avengers.
Let me text
Oh,
him.
we're doing a call a friend?
There we go.
That'd be funny.
Yeah.
I do kind of want to try to
I
do that,
think
but
I think
don't
Gunn would have been a shoe-in for an Avengers.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I think he would have done a great job.
For sure.
You know what? Should I?
No.
No. Yeah. Let's not.
Okay, moving on. Bailey writes, been told my top 5 for this year is unique by friends. What do you think? Okay,
That's
so
it.
number 5 is Spider-Man. I'm assuming Across the Spider-Verse.
Cool.
Asteroid City. Okay, that's not on a lot of people's lists.
Yeah.
Beau is Afraid.
Well, that's another one.
Okay. And then Gran Turismo just thrown in there.
What?
And then Talk to Me is number 1.
Bailey.
It's definitely
Those are wild.
It's definitely an eclectic pick, which I
Yeah.
really appreciate. So I'll say that's unique.
I think they are unique. Those are very interesting
Does that make
choices.
us friends?
You know what? I like all your picks, even the Gran Turismo one. I could see someone having that as their favorite movie
Yeah,
of
that's
the
a
year.
very interesting
I mean,
list.
it was a really good movie to me. It got me into something that I'm not know nothing about,
Mm-hmm.
not into the car thing, this and that. It was a good movie for me, at least.
You're a very eclectic moviegoer, and that's rad.
Bailey's back. Have you seen the trailer for Dream Scenario by A24?
Oh yes, this is the new one with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, I have. I gotta watch the trailer. But
Yeah, I do too.
Seems
It's
awesome.
weird.
So I love when like Nicolas Cage plays kind of like regular people, like just like fuddy duddies or whatever.
Yeah.
I really liked adaptation
I love adaptation.
because it just feels so out of character from a Nick Cage, like, you know what I mean?
There's a bombacity
Yeah,
to so much
yeah,
of
yeah.
the stuff that he does.
And playing a twin was awesome. For
Oh my
him.
gosh, yeah. Well, this one just seems so interesting too, of just this
Yeah.
kind of fuddy-duddy professor who all of a sudden becomes
Just-
famous
yeah.
by showing up in dreams and stuff. I think it's wild. And I think that's the kind of thing he thrives in.
I know it's not the same, but I get like weird being John Malkovich vibes.
Yes, very much.
Yeah.
Because I think it's just that kind of popping into somebody's mind situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, looks cool.
Malkovich. All right, so we got Andy here who writes. If I can scroll down. John's review of Expendables 4 was funny. as F. It's too bad he didn't watch all of it. Because I would have loved his recap on the whole thing. How
mean-
can you torture these people? Poor Ray and John to have to watch that whole movie.
Andy, you know what? He's no you, my friend. He's not going to sit through all seasons of Riverdale
Yeah.
and give us recaps like you do.
Yeah.
You're a hero, bud. All right, John Campea? Only 32 minutes. And he was like, done. I'm out.
I gotta say that was one of the most entertaining segments we've done in a while. Though.
That was hilarious.
It is.
Today's show was very,
was
very
fun.
weird energy, and I was here for it.
Yeah,
we had like
yeah.
JFK. I don't even know where that
We had
came from.
JFK,
Now.
we had Henry coming from behind,
Well,
all kinds of things.
The scene you guys should have seen, or like, I wish everyone there was like a hidden camera.
Well,
in that
listen,
theater.
I'm when it comes to streaming, I've got to see some of this movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like you could see first Anne and John stand up and walk out, because when people go to the bathroom, right? They go, and then us three, like in the same row, got up and walked out with our popcorn and our drinks, and I could hear some people go, "Oh, they're leaving,"
I wonder if they knew you guys.
and just laughing too. No, it's just because when some people are ready to go.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, come on. So.
All right. Well, listen, before we go on to our next questions, we're going to hear one more time from one of our last sponsor of the day, Mint Mobile.
Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Mint Mobile. Signing your life away to a big wireless provider is kind of like being trapped on a roller coaster from hell. Sure, it looks like fun at first. They probably even threw in a free phone, but now you can't get off. Month after month of insane bills and unexpected thrills, like overages and surprise fees. If that sounds like your current big wireless plan, it's time to get off the ride with Mint Mobile. For a limited time, wireless plans from Mint Mobile are just $15 a month. That's unlimited talk, text, and data for just $15 a month. You guys know before I came to Mint Mobile, I was paying triple what I am paying now on the standard big wireless plan, and I will never go back. All plans come with unlimited talk, text, and high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts. To get your new unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped right to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bill to just $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea.
And thank you so much to Mint Mobile for making this episode possible.
Close one.
So close.
All right. Ethan Holgate says, best way to describe Expendables 4, simple, fun, short, and sweet, in my opinion, of course. I don't know. Ryan said it was like one of the worst movies he ever saw, huh?
Would we call it sweet?
You know what?
Like a smack in the face, I guess.
If I might have stayed for the end if everyone else didn't want to leave. So, we'll see. I'm sorry. I like corny stuff. I mean, but
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, Ethan is fine to have liked it. I didn't see it, so I can't judge
Yeah.
it.
but I was sleeping half the time.
I had fun crapping on a movie I haven't seen. It was just fun, but yeah.
I'm glad you liked it, man.
Me too.
Yeah.
Vixter 5001. Actually, I don't have to say the number. Vixter says, catching up on Jack Ryan. Season 3 is great and possibly my favorite. And season 4 has Michael Pena. Well, that's always a good thing.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Such a strong series. Have a great weekend. I've only gotten through season 2.
Yeah, I'm not caught up on the show at all.
Yeah, I haven't seen any.
I think I saw like the first episode of season 1.
Yeah.
I think John went over his thing with it. It's like he says
He's
just
sick of
getting
like the
tired
secret agent. Like becoming-
running from the government thing. So
Yeah.
you know how he feels about that.
They
so.
they even did that in 24 for quite a few seasons. All right. Luke says, does losing 100K push back your retirement? Sort of, man. But I'll be all right.
Well,
South Texas Shark writes, Chris, who has the worst drivers, Texas or California?
Ooh, this is a great question. California drivers are much more aggressive in that they're like direct and they know what they want to do. Texas drivers, though, listen, I know it's a stereotype, but some of those people are carrying. So I tried to drive very carefully.
Here's my experience in Texas. I would rather drive here any day because it's nothing. Where I was like Livingston, outside of Houston.
Yeah.
2-lane highways and like F-1750s. So they're basically semi trucks, and they're going like 95 miles an hour down the 2-lane highway. And it doesn't matter if you go 95, they're still going to be right on you.
Oh, yeah.
And so you have to it's like constant. So like if I could go 110, they'd go 110 too. I'm like, I guess we're just going to die.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing today. Going to hit a turtle or something. I don't know.
Just knock over an armadillo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just sort of stressful. So
It's incredibly stressful.
yeah, I'd rather just drive out.
Yeah, the 610 loop is the worst thing in the world. I would take the 101 or the 405 over that any day. The one thing that Texas roads have on LA though
Texas
is
Roadhouse.
they have those feeder roads, and you can almost always loop around if you miss an exit, which is really nice. Whereas here, you're just
that
screwed.
must be a common mistake in Texas then, if they actually incorporated that.
Yeah,
People missing their exits.
just because this driving.
Oh,
Well, there was a Toyota up my ass, so I missed my exit.
No, so Reese Lindsay says, slow down to 60 and let them roll by. You would think, but they just stay on you.
Yeah.
And then they start
It's like,
honking
no,
and
you have to
flashing
make the
uprights.
move. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, but it's 2 lanes. So it's oncoming traffic or I pull over and stop. And I'm not a slow driver, but it's a 2-lane road. It's whatever.
I hope they stop if you stop and then just wait for you to go again. Like, you'd just be like the worst troll on the road ever. Oh, you want to stop? We'll stop. Oh, wow. Jonathan's not laughing. It must be
I was reliving it. I was like,
My trauma.
I've seen things. Ramtack Holsters LLC writes, did you watch the podcast? I listened to it. His face when describing Lucas film atmosphere was telling.
Oh, the podcast regarding the Del Toro situation.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point. There's definitely more behind the scenes to that, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Because they were definitely being
yeah.
Very, very cautious.
Yeah.
But
they were really busy over there. It was weird. I was trying to make a movie and they're just busy. Everyone's
Oh,
always
what's
running
going
around.
on?
It's like
Yeah.
the West Wing, so I didn't make a movie.
Z.
Like, okay.
yeah.
Banjecture writes, in the happy, sad, confused video, the look and eye roll of Goyer when asked why, these are back to back, why a Del Toro Star Wars movie wasn't an automatic green light was priceless.
I gotta see it now, man.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. It's silly times. Robert writes, have y'all seen Tick Tick Boom? Have a great day.
Yes, I love that movie.
I haven't seen it yet.
That's a singing one, right?
Yes, that's Andrew Garfield. And one of the rare cases where the adaptation of a Broadway musical is much better, because Tick Tick Boom was originally a one-man show that Jonathan Larson was doing before he did Rent. And after the success of Rent, after he had passed and everything, they tried to use this work as something else of, well, this is Jonathan Larson's as well. Let's see if we can do anything with this. And it just didn't translate the same way, and the movie does a really good job of taking that one-man show and then expanding upon it in film that is really beautifully done. And Andrew Garfield is fantastic in it. Ugh, so good.
Tick, tick, boom, boy. Horace K rides. Right.
Come on, man.
I got him. Horace K. It's Friday, baby. I'm okay with commercials in my streaming services, especially if this means writers, actors get paid. But hope commercials don't interrupt movies like they do in broadcast. See, that's something I'm a little worried about. Tag it at the beginning or the end, in the middle. And they said something about a minimum of like, or they said the bar is about accepted is like 4 per hour. I'm like, so does that mean you're going to be sticking like a couple in between in the movie?
Oh, I hate that.
Because then people are just going to start downloading movies or buying physical again.
You know,
Yeah, because it ruins the flow.
the one thing I hate about
Oh wait, sorry. I just but hope commercials don't interrupt movies like they do in the broadcast, TV shows. Shows okay, but not movies. Go ahead, Ray.
the one thing I hate is watching a movie because I have DirecTV, so it's kind of like cable, or it is cable, whatever. They put on a movie, let's say like Rocky 4, where it's like the training montage is a real great thing. It gets you hype.
They put it right in there.
And there's a commercial that cuts in it, or when there's the like the climax of the movie, or like whatever, and then they'll cut a commercial right there, like someone didn't know where to cut that takes me out
TBS.
of a movie. So
You're
yeah, that is
describing
TBS.
TBS.
I'm describing TBS. Here's looking at you, TBS.
Yeah.
Get on that,
It's
man.
like literally
Come on.
every 8 minutes they have.
That's why I
a
stopped watching movies
commercial.
on that station. It's like they cut it in the worst places, and you know when it's coming.
Do you guys have any ad tier whatever streaming services?
All of them.
All of them?
Yeah. I don't pay for this shit. I'm so poor. What?
Paramount is a pretty, because they'll say 1 of 6, right?
Yeah.
But then it's 15 seconds, 6. But sometimes it's the same one 3 times in a row. That's the thing.
That's so annoying when it's that one.
That will
So Apple is
drive me-
pretty cheap. I don't even know if they have an ad tier yet.
Apple doesn't have an ad
Okay,
tier
but they're
yet,
cheap
but
right now so
yeah.
far. But I do have it on Peacock, and I do have it on Paramount Plus.
Peacock,
Because they're so
Hulu,
cheap, and I
Paramount.
figure with those two, I
Yeah.
don't mind the commercials.
No.
The only one I don't have commercials on is Netflix and like Disney Plus, really.
Yeah. You know what?
Well, and
Speaking
Max.
of Apple TV
Yeah.
Plus, if anyone's been watching Invasion, this last episode, it's picking up, baby.
Hit up
Come
Ray.
on.
Talk to him about Invasion.
No.
Do you guys have anything? Because this is a weird thing with Logan. Shock. That he used to watch the 24-hour marathon of A Christmas Story when he was a kid on Christmas, and so now he hates watching A Christmas Story without ads.
Do you want? Oh, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, where he's like, this screws up everything for me, and so he like wants commercial breaks. In the
I've gone
film.
through some old VHS tapes where like I recorded like Spaceballs or whatever on TV,
Yeah,
and then you have all the commercials from like yesteryear.
Those are great.
I love those.
Watching
And
back
but then it's the kind of the same thing because there's like parts of like Spaceballs where I'm like, there's supposed to be a break here.
Yeah.
Like I'm okay with it. I'm not like him. I was like, this ruins it. But it's
Yeah.
like my mind is like, and cut. Oh, okay, we're gonna keep going. Speaking of, did you say Christmas Story?
Yeah.
Okay. Fun fact: my sister went to school with that kid.
Really?
Elementary school. Yeah.
Oh
My older sister.
man, growing up here is wild.
I went to school with Punky Brewster. Went to elementary
yeah,
school with
yeah.
Soleil Moon Frye.
Ooh,
Brian
hey.
Austin
Sorry,
Green
sorry.
lived like 4 blocks from my house. And then this is kind of stupid, but Saved by the Bell, the new class,
Yeah.
the Zach Morris of that show, I went to high school with.
Oh, that's cool.
So you like
That's very, very wild.
Oh, my sister also went to school with Natalie Tootie from Facts of Life.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I can't think of her name right now.
Yeah.
She was also in another sitcom like in the 90s.
Yeah.
She went to school with her, and then I didn't go to school either of us because obviously he's way older. But Tim Burton, I had his art teacher in Burbank High,
That's awesome.
which is also Edward Scissorhands is like based on Burbank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when I moved here just being like, oh, I
Yeah.
get it now.
Oh, and if there's any fans out there of Wonder Years, they filmed pretty much like his junior high years, like when he was still wearing the green Jets coat and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Any school shots were all shot at John Muir Middle School
Oh,
in
shit.
Burbank.
Okay. Yeah.
And there were like their graduation scene from like high school, I think. I remember them filming it while we were like in 6th grade or something.
You
Yeah.
said Facts of
So,
Life,
like-
right?
Yeah.
Tootie?
Yeah.
Kim Field.
Kim Fields, yeah. So I would be going to John Muir for school, and they'd be shooting the Wonder Years there.
That's so cool.
So there's a lot of scenes where he's like, there's this one scene where he pisses off one of these girls, and there's like tumbleweed suddenly. It looks like a Western. That was like right by my classroom.
That's fun.
Their house is the house for it is in Burbank, right up the street from there.
I love doing that kind of. I know it can be like cheesy and touristy, but like going and seeing, like even though I'm not super into it, seeing the Halloween house, right?
Right.
All that stuff. I think it's so cool that you can just go do that.
So when I was
here.
dating Laura, she was like, "Oh, it's so funny. This neighborhood reminds me of the Wonder Years." And when I was a kid, I always said I want to live in the Wonder Years, not necessarily the house. I want to live in the Wonder Years neighborhood. I'm like, this is the Wonder Years neighborhood. It's Burbank. And I drove her to the house. I'm like, do you recognize that house? She's like, oh my God.
That's a good date. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well done.
I was like, I bought it. No, I'm kidding. All right, so moving on. Wow, we went on a tangent, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh, you went on.
That's okay.
Yeah, Ray. Geez, can't stop him, man. All right, Shamrock Vibes. Chris, if you like Broadchurch, then you will love Happy Valley. We get a lot of British TV. My boyfriend is taking me to meet his parents in Glendale, USA in November. So is that Glendale, California? Because that's right by Burbank where I live. He works in Ireland, never been to USA.
Ooh, that's very exciting. Well, if it is the Glendale near us, welcome. Hope you have a really fun time
I
here
know
in
there's other
November.
Glendales, but I'm assuming maybe.
I would think it's this one.
California.
That's really cool. I definitely will check out Happy Valley. I love a British murder. Man, British murders are just real great. There's something classy about them.
I loved, this probably isn't along the same vein, but Luther.
Oh, Luther's so good.
To me, those first two seasons were like a realistic Batman.
Yes,
Because
that's a
you
really
get a
great
rogues
description.
gallery, but he was never, in a bat suit or anything.
Yeah,
It was realistic.
and he, took the law into his own hands and kind of did his own thing. A maverick renegade.
All right, so Suthius, this one's for Ray. Ray, did your mother purposely give you and your sister's names, or names that would spell out aura, or just that, or was that just a coincidence? If so, that was definitely an Asian mom would do with her kids' names. Suthius is Asian too.
That's what they did. I mean, it's crazy. When I found out, like, I never put it together until they told me. I was like, you're right. And then they're like, you're dumb. I'm just kidding. The short end of the stick is, of course, Olive, because how many names start with an O? Like, I can't even tell you. There's Oscar. If she was ended up being a boy, Oscar, and then there's Olive. That's it, right?
Ophelia.
I had a friend in elementary school named Octavio, and I was like,
Octavia.
If you, or there's Octavia too.
Yeah.
So there's that name, but other than that, me and Ann, we had a full range of names to go through.
Opal. I
Opal?
can do this all day.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Two more.
Two more O female names.
Or any name.
Oh, Oscar.
Yeah, I already said that.
You already said Oscar?
Uh-huh.
Othello.
Okay.
Optimus.
I knew it. Optimus is one of my names that I would have chosen. I would have demanded my name be Optimus.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, I told you.
Shamrock Vibes.
Don't say it like it's normal, Optimus, and then turn your head like
Optimus
you said.
is one.
Optimus.
That's one.
Yeah.
That counts.
You think somebody's not like, I'm going to name my kid Optimus. They're going to do it.
The fact
There's
that you
someone out
turned
there.
away, like I couldn't even argue. Like that was it. That was it. There's Optimus is not accepted, but fine for this show, it's accepted.
All right.
Otis.
Shamrock
Otis is a
Vibes.
great one.
Okay, sorry.
Shamrock Vibes asks queries. Also, Mom likes to. Oh, I didn't realize you were British. Also, Mom likes to get Radio 4 from the UK, and they have lots of audio plays with famous actors in. Chris, have you ever listened to one? Oh wait, to one. Would you like act in one? Wait,
Would I like to act in one?
yeah.
Yeah, yes and yes. I've listened to the Neverwhere one that Radio 4 did. Neverwhere is this really great Neil Gaiman book, and James McAvoy was in the cast. It's a very, very stacked cast. It's wonderful. Highly recommend the book, too. All Neil Gaiman books I recommend. I would love to do a radio play. I hopefully will be doing something like that in the future that I can't talk about very much. We'll
Sounds
see.
like you're walking up some stairs right there.
I'm trying. It's a climb.
All right, so Zachary Zarbos writes, what are some of your go-to movies for Halloween season, whether they be scary, horror comedy, or feel-good movies?
Yeah. Hi, Zachary. I know Zachary. I'm a big fan. You guys know I watch Wolf Cop because it's really bad and a prosthetic penis gets bitten off, and I think it's funny. Dale and Tucker versus Evil, Cabin in the Woods, Zombieland, Charlie, the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Yeah, I do the Charlie Brown thing so much. But this year, I think I'm going to watch Paranorman this year.
Paranorman's a cute
I haven't
one.
seen it yet, so...
Oh, it's really cute.
Okay.
I like that one.
Someone asked this before, and it's going to be the same answer, but when I was a kid, they always played on the Disney Channel, The Legend of Ichabod and Mr. Toad.
Yeah.
Which is weird. They put it in that order, but it's the reverse in the thing. It's like an hour long, and it starts with Mr. Toad's basically it's what Mr. Toad's Wild Ride is based on.
Yeah, where you go to hell.
Yeah, and it feels good on a cold day at Disneyland.
It is nice.
Yeah, but anyway, and then the second one is Ichabod, Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Okay, so that would always end, and I'd be like all into it, and it gets all kind of scary because at the end it goes into like live action, like a library, and then it's like just like a closing book, and then the candles like dim, and every year without fail, my parents had already retired to their bedroom, and all the lights in the house were out, and I look around and I'd have to like turn off the TV and run to my room and turn on the light really quick.
I still do that in dark
Every
hallways.
year I'd fall for it. Every year.
Man, that's a good one though. Oh, we talked about her so much today on the main show, Megan Fox. I love watching Jennifer's Body. I think that movie is hilarious.
I've heard a lot of people say okay, that's a passable one. Like it's fun.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's great. There's the best fake band in it too. Oh man, wonderful.
It's one thing I sort of appreciated about the TV show, The OC, is anytime there was a band, they'd be a real band.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I like when,
Nice.
shows do that instead of the fake band thing. Sean Gilstorf writes, how many hats, Raymond?
Oh, how many hats do I have?
Yeah.
No. Says, how many hats does Ray have? Any cool ones? There you go.
Do you have
they're all
any
the same
cool
one.
hats?
I just love the Nixon brand. I've just gotten attached to it, so that's it.
Nixon.
I rarely
Why
wear
in my time
Yeah.
we didn't wear hats like that? Men were men. Not in my country,
How
these
many
hippies.
hats?
I have no idea. Like maybe 5 right now in rotation. It's just as long as I get all the colors right, because some colors don't match with others. I mean, I think about that stuff even at my age.
Yeah.
I mean,
Doing that fit check.
yeah.
Fit check. All right. So Emma Murdoch writes, Statham's 2023 Roulette. Buy, rent, or erase. Fast X, Meg 2, Expendables 4. Can I erase all 3?
Ooh.
Know what I mean?
I will
These
say
movies
Fast
are
X is
good.
the one I would keep even without seeing it.
was
Yeah,
gonna say.
that's because it's the one you didn't see.
I
So it must be
haven't.
better than the other two.
I haven't seen any of these.
Me either,
ooh,
but I'll erase all 4.
I'll go
I
for
feel
it.
like I would rent Fast X
Oh, here.
so I can see the Momoa scene. I would buy Meg 2 because that seems like a real easy drinking game movie. And then erase Expendables 4 because my only knowledge of the Expendables 4 is my brother Hayden doing Mickey Rourke's monologue at me. He thinks it's the funniest thing. So that's the only thing I know of that movie.
Does
The
that?
one where he's like in the bar? or-
Yeah. Where he's like, let me tell you something.
He memorized
And having just like my sweet, skinny, lanky brother as he's like chain smoking cigarettes, be like, I'm going to do the Mickey Rourke scene for you, Christine. Let's go. It kills me.
Take a seat.
Does he call you like randomly and
Oh, it'll be when we're hanging out. If we talk about any
No,
like
it'd be
movie,
great.
he's like, you know what the best movie is?
It'd be great.
Mickey Rourke in this.
It'd be great if you just called him and he doesn't even say hello. He just goes
Just
right
that
into
monologue.
He just goes right into it. Yeah. I guess if I can't erase all 4, I'll go with
Yeah.
Chris's route. So Andy writes, I'll watch Expendables 4. Brave man, Andy.
Ooh.
Well, you know what?
And
yes,
recap it myself.
Andy. Yes.
Yeah.
And recap it myself for us. Just kidding. Just kidding. No. This is happening now. So it has to happen.
Wait, did he
I'm
just say
for-
just kidding?
Yeah, but I just said,
Aw.
no, you're locked in.
Yeah, you're
I'm
locked in,
forever
bud.
retired from doing that because nothing will ever come close to Riverdale's hilarious and say, dude, don't sell yourself short. You're doing this.
You're doing it, man.
Yeah.
Just do it, please.
Yeah. I mean, in addition to your recaps of Riverdale, the one thing on TikTok that I would watch routinely was people explaining Riverdale. And it was so funny to me of just, all right, on this episode, Cheryl's a witch and she starts a lesbian coven. And you're like, what is this show? What is this show? And they would just deadpan it. And I feel like you got a real knack for that, Andy. Love your recaps.
Yeah, you're in it to win it, baby.
Yeah.
All right, Robert's back. Marshawn Lynch is hilarious in Bottoms. Did anyone see Bottoms?
I
haven't.
have to say it.
I need to see it. It looks so funny.
I know. I complain about no one going to see comedies, and then I don't go see them. Although I did see the outlawed, excuse me, Johnny Black from the creators of Black Dynamite.
What'd you think?
It was great. It wasn't as good as Black Dynamite.
Okay.
But that's still there's so many subtle like acting choices in there that are just hilarious, especially by Michael Jai White. Like he does these subtle things, and then just recurring bits, and then one-liners that it's totally worth it. Like I'd see it again.
Okay.
It just, I do feel like a Western setting doesn't lend itself to that comedy as much as like a blaxploitation film from like the 70s.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. Yeah. Bottoms too. I don't think Outlaw's playing at my theater, and then Bottoms was playing at the weirdest times at my Regal that just didn't line up with my schedule. I don't like it.
Bucks. No, I'm thinking about Outlaw Johnny Black. You guys go see it. Judge for yourself. Bucks Basement writes, Jamie Lee Curtis as Dr. Kuraha in season 2 of One Piece looks like it's a safe bet based on her Instagram. Also, do you prefer Chopper to be practical or CGI? I mean, it's probably got to be CGI, right? I mean,
Okay, so potentially, but Sweet Tooth on Netflix does practical effects of like, there's this one little guy who's like a little gopher, and he just walks around and they kind of animate his eyes, but for the most part, he's a real dude, and I love him. I would kill for him, and he's just an animatronic puppet. And I feel like that's kind of the route with Chopper, but that show already is so uncanny, right? With how stretchy everyone is and the bombacity of all of that, that I think CGI would still fit in there well. I think you could go either way. I just love like a practical animatronic Muppet.
maybe it's like elements, like you said, where it's practical, but then they can animate certain things.
Because Chopper's just a precious little baby.
All I can think of is Chopper from Rebels.
Oh, yeah.
Brandon Beal writes, just wanted to thank you guys for the content. Have a great weekend. Thank you. And $10, man. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Brandon. That's very sweet.
And then we got our final question. Alex Von Gollum writes, hi, everyone. What's your most anticipated movie for the rest of the year? Mine would have been Dune 2, but yeah, mine is Napoleon. Great open mic today. You're awesome. Thank you.
Aw,
so,
you're awesome, Alex.
I'd probably agree to it. I'd agree, I guess. It would have been Dune 2. Now it's probably Napoleon. I love history, so I love historical epics. I also know that movies can take liberties, so it's not like, oh, well, this is what happened. But
I'm trying to think.
I'm trying to think of like, because I know there's another couple movies aside from Dune 2 that, I mean, there's a Taylor Swift film, so you know I'm there like nine different nights.
Listen, I have my tickets, and I'm very excited.
You should
I have to get my Eras outfit. It's going to be glorious. I am actually really excited about that, because I'm going, I'm going with Tiffany for her birthday.
Oh,
yeah.
Tiffany's great.
Tiffany's the best. You guys should come. It's going to be super fun. We're going to be singing our faces off. But I can't, I'm trying to think of what else is coming out the rest of the year.
I'm just looking through real quick.
I'm looking forward to the creator, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, is that Hunger Games coming out this year?
Yeah.
I think so.
So I wasn't excited for that. I'm still not excited for that, but I'm definitely intrigued. So it probably still doesn't necessarily count. I'm into October now so far, and I'm actually more excited from like things that are being re-released in like anniversary releases. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, Creator.
Creator, I'm excited about.
Looking forward to Creator.
Marvel's, I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
I love Ms. Marvel so much. I really hope that film is good.
Exactly. That one too.
I know Ray wants to see Godzilla -1.
Oh my God. Yeah, there it is.
Yes.
Thank you, Jonathan. Sometimes it's hard. Like you talk about movies all the
Yeah.
time. It's hard to.
Yeah. 2 concert movies coming up. One, The Last Waltz, which is about the band. It's their farewell tour.
Mm-hmm.
The band got their name because they were the band that backed Bob Dylan when he went electric.
Oh.
And they never really had a name, so it was like Bob Dylan and the band. And then they broke off and did their own music, which a lot of people know their songs, but they don't know it's the band that does it. So it's called The Last Waltz. In it, it was directed by Martin Scorsese, and you get people like Neil Young, Van Morrison, Muddy Waters. I mean,
Holy shit.
a million people come out
Okay.
and perform with them because it's
That's
their farewell
awesome.
thing.
Yeah.
It's totally fun. And another music documentary, which is really great, or music live concert, is Stop Making Sense, which was the Talking Heads.
Okay. Nice.
And that was awesome too. I'm in November. I'm still not seeing like anything aside from Napoleon that I'm going to be like, yes, this.
so much stuff got moved.
Monty Python, The Holy Grail. That's awesome.
Oh, they're doing a re-release?
Re-release
That's
of that.
fun.
There's a lot of re-releases. I love that they do that now, or at least more often.
Yeah.
And then now I'm in December. I know this isn't great content, but you asked, so
We got Aquaman.
We do have Aquaman.
you know what? That looks so fun though.
Yeah, that
So
does.
I'm definitely looking forward to that. A good farewell to the situation.
Yeah.
Wonka, but I'm still not sold. Honestly, I'm sorry. The trailers, it's not selling me. Like the scene where what's his name plays the police officer and he's like, nothing to see here. Definitely not a bunch of people who have lost connection with gravity. It's just like these feel like really bad lines.
I can see now the charm of it because at CinemaCon when we first saw it, I was like,
Right.
I don't care about this at all. While
Right.
Aaron and John were swooning, and I understand this is a young Wonka. I don't see how this becomes my Gene Wilder.
Yeah.
My problem is, you know what? I get it's an origin story, but man, I'm just so used to having colors. Like a lot of colors, especially when the candy comes out. There's a scene in the trailer where the candy's floating in the air. I want more colors, like on the screen, just so I could connect the Wonka we got with this. This one's Wonka.
Maybe we're making a mistake by saying, "Oh, this guy turns into Gene Wilder."
Sure,
It
that
could
can
be
be
a
a fair
whole different
adjustment.
universe. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like alternate reality. So maybe he doesn't. Maybe he does become something like that. But clearly, like candy, even in the Wonka we watched, didn't float, and it wasn't that magical.
Yeah.
Like things were weird, and you could explain it away with some kind of weird magic and science, but it wasn't just people like flying around. Like they would be like, oh, because it puts a bunch of bubbles in you and you
Yeah.
float. But
One that Wonka movie too, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, is kind of sinister, and
Yeah,
I
it
do
is.
like that. I
Dude.
like that you walk away from that movie of
the boat
a
ride
lot
is
of
still
potential murder on that tour.
the boat ride is still my favorite, and
Oh
the
my
fact that it's like
gosh.
close up and that person like blinking and like
Right.
like someone like kills like a chicken in it and stuff. It's like what
Yeah.
is going on in
It's
this?
ooh,
I will say, if whoever eats chocolate in this movie doesn't make me want to eat chocolate like Charlie did in the old movie.
Yeah.
You know when he first got that
Yeah,
first
that
bar
first-
and
yeah.
he didn't get the
He
ticket,
unwraps it.
but he unwraps it and he just like stuffs his face
Yeah.
with it. I want chocolate every time I watch that scene. There has to be something that makes me want to eat chocolate. I just eat all the time. That's why. Come on.
Did you guys ever hear Taylor rant about Grandpa Joe?
Yeah.
Oh
Like he was
man,
just packing it in.
Yeah,
Like it was
where
just
he'd be like that piece of shit.
yeah.
Grandpa Joe acting like he had no legs until he gets to tour a chocolate factory. What a piece of shit. It was one of my favorite just Taylor Gonzalez ragers.
Listen, Taylor's been through some things.
He's
so-
right, but he's right.
Yeah, it's
All of a
just
sudden he could
hilarious where he'd be
stand
like,
up.
well, this movie's okay. This is this Grandpa Joe.
Have you ever noticed that he
Freeloading
doesn't-
Grandpa Joe.
Charlie really doesn't have like teeth. They didn't grow in.
I saw that picture recently.
He
just
eventually
like,
grew in, but yeah, when he was that
of
age,
the
they're
little
still-
just jagged little guys back there. Of,
maybe he shouldn't be eating a lot
yeah,
of chocolate.
Charlie doesn't need that.
All right, so our last question of the day. And I guess Napoleon. That's what I've landed on, Napoleon. Shall we vote? Andrew, Guillermo Del Toro, Pinocchio was a great movie.
Agreed.
I didn't see it. I want to see it. I guess I could stream it.
Yeah, I liked it too.
I like it. It's a longer one. I think people weren't prepared for how long it is, but it's Netflix, and
Cool.
it's dark. It takes many
Yep.
dark twists and turns.
And then that's where I think a lot of people are divided in whether.
Well,
they
I'll
like
tell
it or
you,
not.
that original Disney one, I mean,
It's
the
much
donkey
more,
scene and he's screaming for his mom, I
Yes.
literally like get choked up.
Yeah, it's a much more sinister film than people remember.
Yeah.
When you rewatch that full animated movie,
Because when you watch it
it's
as a kid,
messed
you're
up.
like, yeah, because they're bad kids. And then you watch it as an adult, and you're like, oh my God, these
A lot of
never
the
see his
Disney-
mom
yeah,
again.
these poor children.
Yeah, a lot of the Disney classic animated ones I can't watch just because like they're really sad. The parts that are sad is like really sad.
Yeah. Scarring.
On that note, guys,
Have a good weekend.
You guys, thank you so much for being here with us. We really appreciate it when you kick it with just the Batman Beyond crew. We love getting your questions. We love when they're tailored to the crew too. So thank you so much for doing that today. Jonathan did a great job answering for John Campea, though.
Yeah.
Always love that.
Thank you.
Thank you once again to all of our sponsors. Thank you to Ray. Thank you to
Go
Jonathan.
again.
That's still my job to do the camera cut. So there you go.
I've been Chris. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Have a great weekend. Be kind. We'll see you next time.
We will not go quietly into the night.